What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in a car mechanic simulator with me, the virtual mechanic, and today's project, the Audi TT Mark 1. This is the R32 edition. I got it from the junkyard, and I just about underpaid for it. Only ever so slightly. 5,928 is what we paid for the Audi. Could sell it now and make 248. We're not going to. There are no engine swaps with this one today. At 252 starting horsepower on this lovely, lovely Audi TT. Obviously, we're going to increase that today. There is an engine cover on there, but let's sneak into that engine. Looking pretty tasty. What did that say? It was a V6. That's not bad, is it? V6 double overhead cam, AKY engine. Should be pretty fast. Looks like this is four-wheel drive with the front drive shaft going through there. Looking at pretty tasty. We got a few body mod options on this one today as well. Looking at pretty sweet. A few different bumper options. We're going to make it look pretty cool, hopefully. Light options, rear bumper, side skirts, or fenders, whatever you want to call them. A few different options in there for us to play around with today. Make this one look cool. Obviously, we're going to make it fast, performance parts. Being four-wheel drive, this should get quite a good speed down the track. But it is incredibly dusty. So let's head over to the car wash and get this one cleaned up, ready to start stripping down. Here we are then at the car wash. Now this car was modded in by Bostonawy. I am sure I'm not pronouncing that name correctly in any way, shape or form. But the link will be in the description below if you want to go download this mod and have a look yourself. Lovely orange on this one, apart from that green fender there. That's looking pretty tasty. Let's get the interior done. Then we'll get it back on the lift and we'll get that engine ripped out once we've taken that engine cover off. Got the car up in the air. Let's have a look. No oil pan. That's pretty good. Let's just jump straight in and try and start getting this car stripped down. Get this drive shaft off. I wonder if we can remove the gearbox without having to remove the front drive shaft on this one, like we did my slammed truck on a Wednesday. Let's have a look. That looks pretty simple. That also says to me that the starter's missing, which I think there's quite a lot missing from this engine, if I'm being honest. Yeah, the whole engine bay is pretty much needs replacing. Front exhaust sections. Engine needs some work on it as well. But let's get it back on the ground. Let's get that engine ripped out. Already got the engine cover off. Let's see if I can just pull this engine straight out. Nice, thank you very much. Nice and easy. Let's clear the engine bay as there's not a lot in here. As I said, I think this all needs replacing. So I'm going to have to buy all of them parts at a later date. But the only thing in here to strip is the fuse box. So let's get that done before we jump in and get the suspension done. Just a quick double check. Doesn't look like there's anything else in there. Car back up in the air. Now let's jump in and have a look what we've got going on underneath these wheels. Off you come. What have we got here then? Lower suspension arm with one shock either side. Drive shaft running through with the front drive axles. Pretty basic, pretty simple setup. Steering rack all connected nicely though. Full credit there. Let's get this back wheel off and have a look. He does look like he's gone for my least favourite rear end with all of the rubber bushings, but there is a lot of painting to be done on this one, which I do enjoy. So I'm going to crack on now. I'm going to get all of this stripped, and then we're going to get the bodywork of this lovely Audi stripped down before we go and tear down that engine, ready for its performance parts upgrade. I will meet you back by the car in just a few moments. Everything cleared out now. Just need to strip off this bodywork before we go and strip down that lovely V6 engine. Now, there are potentially a few bizarre parts on this that I'm not 100% sure about. I need to go in and get that interior. I know that. Fenders are missing. Let's get this bumper off. Lights out. Ooh, a little spoiler there. Grab you off. And I think, apart from the interior, that may be it. Not 100% sure. May have to come back and grab a few of these bits a little bit later on. But I think that's all that was on there for now. We'll just... I mean, that looks like it's replacing everything, doesn't it? But it's hard to tell. Oh, did I get all the windows? Yeah, looks like it. Well, oh, I know what one is. Oh, but it's missing anyway. There is an interior section. Oh, there it is. You can see that there. It's not in place, so it doesn't matter. There we go. Car stripped down. Next up, I'm going to go and get that engine lovely and built and restored. Just have a quick double check through. Nothing on there. Let's go strip down this beautiful V6 engine. I believe this is potentially my first time with this particular V6 engine, although there's not a lot to it. So let's just crack on and start stripping it down. I don't know what goes where, random cover for no reason, and then straight to the head. Well, that was pretty quick on that side. I know there was a lot missing. We got camshafts and all of that missing. Anything down here we can play with? No, straight up the other side. Let's have a look. Straight off with that engine head. This could very much be it for this engine. Doesn't look like there was a lot on it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to crack on now and get the rest of this stripped off. It looks like it's just going to be the pistons and the underside now. So I'll get the rest of this done, and then we're going to get that frame all sorted out. And then I'm going to pick which lovely body panels we're going to throw on this beautiful Audi TT. I'll meet you back there in just a few minutes. Everything is completely stripped off of the beautiful Audi TT. Let's get this frame sorted and up to 100%. I don't know how much this is going to cost. I'm hoping it's going to be a cheap one, but not too cheap because I like profit. Oh, only 700. That doesn't bode well for the final sale price at the end of today for this Audi. I am really liking that orange though. Oh, got stuck on the welder. That is quite a nice orange. Anyway, let's get this welder put away. Let's start putting some stuff back on this. Now, there's a couple of internal parts that I will just show you first. But first of all, we need to throw that interior in just so that you still can. You can cover the seats and stuff. So as you can see, plain steering wheel, plain seats. But if you come back out onto this and go into the body assembly mode, go into the back there, I can throw the back seats in. And obviously, you can just see them poking out there. If you click on that, it's got steering wheel, gear stick, 3 pedals because it's a manual. Throw that in and that will complete the interior with an Audi wheel. All the pedals you can see. Looking lovely. The seats look a little bit better. They don't change too much, but they look a bit better. Let's just get on and throw the rest of this together. I have decided what I'm going for. It is sort of like my own a mishmash of what I think looks good and what suits the vehicle and stuff like that. So I'm going to get it all on, and then I'll meet you back here before we head over to the paint shop. See you in a minute. Everything back on the Audi, looking pretty great with my personalised plate there. Virtual Mechanic Mark 1 at TT. Looking pretty nice. There is one final bit to throw on this body, and that is the Audi rings, car part 4. On you go. Now, you can change that if you want to. You can have it say turbo or ABT. One of the front bumpers as well that says ABT on it if you wanted to match them on. I think it's that one, bumper F, that looks like it. If you wanted to match them up, I didn't. I just went for the standard Audi logo. And this is my finished body. Doesn't look like too much at the moment, but it will do once we get it over to the paint shop and get it all painted. So I'll meet you over there once I've picked a beautiful colour / livery for this wonderful Audi TT. I'll see you in a moment. Here we are then. I did say I was a big fan of this orange, so I decided to keep it. Found this beautiful livery. I think it was just included in the car pack, giving me very much Need for Speed vibes from back in the day. In fact, I think one of my starter cars, it may not have been a TT, but was definitely this orange, you know, with Brembo and all the stuff written down the side, looking very boy racerish. And this ghosted dragon looks absolutely fantastic. Beautiful work, whoever put that in, wherever that's from. I don't know. I'm going to assume it's part of the Bostonawy package. Again, I apologise for butchering your name. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And this partial carbon fibre hood, bizarrely, I don't quite get why it's not completely over. I don't know if different models have a different hood than that. But never mind, it's looking pretty cool. We're going to keep most of the underside black on this one to sort of go with the carbon fibre. We are going to throw some orange accents on it. And we're going to do the same with the engine, black and orange. Obviously, we've got this engine cover. I may swap this one because I can go to just the strut. But I think you have a floating air filter if you do that. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to check later on when we put it all back together. But definitely just black and orange in this. It's going to look pretty smart when it's done. I hope you all enjoy it. I'm going to get some stuff painted, then we'll start getting it reassembled back on the lift. I'll see you all shortly. Everything is painted, ready to go back on the car. Let's have a look at these shocks. Black shocks, orange springs. Forgot to crouch. Looking pretty good. Not too bad if I do say so myself. Let's get it off the stand. Let's get some of these parts onto the car and have a look. Now, I said most of this was going to be black. The cross member section is in that beautiful orange there. I'm just going to get straight up to the brake caliper because I want to see how that looks in comparison, because it is meant to be orange, but in the paint booth it doesn't look very orange. It looks like a bit of a brown, shall we say. So let's have a look how that looks on here before I throw the rest of it on. Actually, that's not bad. It's a little dark, but we are in a bit of a shaded area, so we'll have a look at the back and see how that looks. There's them beautiful shocks going on. And then the lower suspension arm is just in a gloss black itself. Still looking pretty good though. I'll come and get the rest of this all filled in later on. None of that's coloured. But let's move down the back. The cross member itself is in the orange again. Let's just get this all together because there's quite a few parts down the back here. All of this is pretty much in the black apart from the shock just there and the spring on the spring cap at the back. So let's just get it all on and see what it looks like. That's not too bad. That is a slightly different, that's more of a body matched orange. This is a brighter orange than the rest of the car. Same as the brake calipers. They're a brighter orange than the rest of the car as well. But let's just get it all on and see how it looks together. A few more bits to go. I'll get these last bits on, then we'll get the brake caliper on. And then we'll have a look and see if it matches. I'm hoping it does, because otherwise I don't want to have to go back and repaint everything and do this whole scene again. Excuse me. So let's have a look. On you go with the brake caliper. I see that looks better. That's definitely much more orange at the back. Happy with how that's looking. I'm going to crack on now and get the rest of this finished, and we'll have a check of this when I've finished all this, just before we get that engine bay back together. I shall see you up there in just a little while. I'll get this finished. See you soon. The underside completely finished in this glorious black and orange. Orange springs, orange brake calipers, and orange cross member with orange shocks at the back. Looking absolutely fantastic. Really love how this has turned out. It is looking incredible. But we need to get that engine bay sorted now. We are officially in the engine bay. So let's just start throwing all of these bits back in here. None of this obviously is painted apart from that fuse box, but I have done it in the black because the engine bay itself is in orange, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, don't know what happened there, but yeah, the engine bay itself is orange, so I decided to go with black on the fuse box, keeping it looking pretty neat and tidy. The engine itself is predominantly black with some orange sections at the top. Well, that's how it's meant to look anyway. We'll see when I go and build the engine, which is going to happen in just a minute. The fuel tank is in, along with most of the exhaust apart from the front exhaust section. I'll get on and finish this fuse box, and then we're going to go and get that lovely engine built back up, ready to go in. You'll see how good I've made it look, hopefully with that black and orange. I'll see you over by the engine stand in just a couple of moments. Right, we've made it to the engine stand. Let's get this engine going. The main part of the block is in black, as you can see there. A few other bits are in black. In fact, a lot of this engine is in black. Not too much colour to happen down here until we get to the oil pan at the very least. So I'm going to crack on and get loads of this together. And then I'll join you back up when we've got a bit more of the colour on this wonderful engine, as none of this underside here can be painted. I will see you back up top when we're nearly done with it. See you in a minute. Got most of the basic stuff on, all finished. Still pretty black, quite liking that. Oil filter is well in the black, and this power steering pump finishing up the top section in black there. We've got loads of covers to go over this, all in black. I probably won't show you all of them just because it is quite a lot of covers on this. I think there's 5 different covers just on that front section. They are all just painted black, but we got to crack on. Here's the first one, obviously just in that basic black. I will get a bit more done because there's a lot more internals to go to these engines, but I just want to show you how many fixings go on this camshaft cap here. There is loads of them, absolutely loads. So I will crack on and get a load more of this done, and then we'll start seeing some of the orange in this beautiful engine. I'll see you in a minute. Coming towards the end of this engine build now, looking pretty good. All of them covers you can see all in the black, along with the power steering pump as well. Sort of blends it nicely, hides it all nicely. I did do the belt tensioner in orange, just to give it a bit of colour at the front there. That's the front finished. And then the head covers are also in that glorious, glorious orange, with some ignition coils to go on top there. Intake manifold also in that beautiful orange, which I'm really loving, and I cannot wait to see this one in the car. We have the fuel rail in the black just to sort of separate it along with the throttle, so it just gives it a bit of colour between the oranges, I suppose. And obviously this last engine cover as well is obviously in that orange. It would be weird if that one was black and the other one wasn't. Just got these ignition coils to throw in, and then this stunning little engine. I've really enjoyed this one. It's painted really well. come out really nicely with all the colours. So I'm very, very happy with this. But this is this beautiful engine finished. It is now time to drop it into the Audi and see how it looks. Let's get it off this stand and let's get it in. I did remember to grab the crane again. Go me. Let's get it dropped in. Let's see how it looks. Oh, that looks absolutely incredible. I am very, very happy with that. Very happy with that indeed. That's looking great. Not sure about the engine cover, but then I suppose we do have this grey bit of plastic at the front, which I don't think comes out with it. No, so it's either we just have the strut, which would leave us with a floating air intake, which we don't really want. So I am going to throw that engine cover back on. Officially it's orange. That's looking pretty cool, though. Very, very happy with that. I'm going to crack on now. I've got some underside to finish, some wheels to get on. These wheels are definitely going to be black. I've just got to pick which ones I want to finish this car off. But I'm going to get it up in the air, get the last bits in underneath. Then we'll get the wheels done, and we'll get this car outside in the sun, ready to see how this looks. Just before I jump into that, though, look how good that looks in the black. Absolutely incredible. Got to get that starter and drive shaft on. So I'm going to get those on, and then I'll meet you outside when it's all finished. See you in a bit. Here we are then. I've finished the Audi TT. It is looking absolutely fantastic. Really love how this has come out. It's looking great. That engine is just stunning. I love how that's turned out. Might not be everyone's cup of tea. Might be a bit too much colour for some people. But for me, that is quite possibly one of my favourite engines. Even possibly beating this, although this is stunning. Yeah, maybe not. Doesn't quite beat that. Very close, though. It is looking great. For the rims for this car, looking pretty snazzy. I did paint them black. I did put white ones on it first, and I decided against it. It was a bit too much. I like the black rims, and obviously it stuck with the colour of this car. I went for the classic 16 rims. Did them in 20 inches, so they're 2 inches bigger than what comes on its standard. They come as an 18. Went for a 20. Kept the same width, 225 width. Pretty good on these cars. With a 30 profile instead of a 35, I believe it comes with standard. Did that on all the four wheels. They're looking pretty great. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. And this car is absolutely beautiful. I did find one issue with it. Is inside the engine bay. If we scroll down to the side, you can see the front exhaust section doesn't quite match up on either side with the actual manifold itself, which is a bit of a shame, but it's just one of them things. I mean, I've played around with this. You could make that bigger so that it would fit, and then, you know, it would be over it and things like that. So I don't blame Bostonawy. Again, probably pronouncing your name wrong. Excuse me. You have done a very fantastic job with this mod. It does look absolutely great. There will be a link in the description. Go and download it yourself. Have some fun. Play around with it. And this beautiful livery. I will find out whoever made this, if it just comes with the mod, whether he's credited or the person has credited, whether or not whoever designed it for them maybe did it himself. But it looks absolutely great. Very happy with this. Let's jump in and see what this one sounds like. I'm hoping for an insane sound. Also, I love the fact that you can have it in manual automatic. Obviously, I went for a manual. Let's get in. It doesn't make any difference when you're driving it, by the way. It's just for the aesthetics of the car. Let's see what this one sounds like. Okay, that sounds amazing. Very happy with that. That is sounding absolutely insane. Very, very happy with that. Let's spin it on the dyno and see what horsepower it's got. This stunning V6 double overhead cam engine, the AKY, with 252 starting horsepower. We've added performance parts today. What have we managed to push it up to? Hopefully something good, although I don't have slick tyres on it. An additional 154 horsepower, that's 62%. That's still very respectable, bringing us up to a total of 406 horsepower. Sounds good on paper, but what can it do on the track? Let's go find out. Here we are then, at the track with the newly 406 horsepowered Audi TT. What speed are we going to get out? This is four-wheel drive, so it should stick well, but I don't have slicks on it. So we will see. Let's go. A little bit slow off the line, but it starts going all right. We are heading up towards the 200 km/h mark. 200 and? There you go, over that one. I am looking forward to the drag strip DLC when it comes. It'll definitely be a change for the eyes from this desert track. What are we going to end up with today? Heading up towards 300 km/h now. Just got that. Where are we going to finish? Come on, little TT. You can do better than that, surely. Where are we ending up? 325 kilometers an hour. Not the greatest top speed, but this is a very, very little car. So pretty respectable. Here it is then, 325 kilometers an hour from the little Audi TT Mark 1. Pretty good. 51st in our leaderboard out of 67 cars. That's not too bad at all, really. I mean, we have had some slow cars in there, but that's still a pretty respectable top speed. Absolutely loving this mod. Also, I couldn't find any information about the livery, so I'm just under the assumption that Bostonawy, still think I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I don't know, did the livery himself, but it is a fantastic. Again, link in the description below. Go and grab this one yourself. It is a lot of fun to play with, is a lot of fun to mess around with, and there's some great racing liveries on here as well as this fantastic design one, and one with a blacked out roof. Just while we're here though, I expected this to change, especially considering we've got some Hot Rod DLC coming out soon, I think on the 11th of this month. I would have expected that to say Hot Rod DLC coming soon. They did it with the Land Rover. Would have been nice if they carried it on, because now it just says Land Rover out now still. So I'm hoping that does change in the future with more stuff added. Anyway, back to this car. This one was a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this little beauty. It's been fun to play around with, fun to design, and I think it's come out looking absolutely stunning. But let's talk about how much it's cost and what we spent on this one today. Obviously, you saw at the beginning of the video, I paid $5,928 for the little car, which was just under value, which means we could have profited straight away. But I have today spent $47,403 buying various parts. Bearing in mind, I bought all of the front bumpers, all of the rear bumpers, both sets of, well, 2 of the left fenders, and then when I decided just the one of the right fender. Things like that. I did buy a few different options. I bought all the interior options as well, played around with them a little bit. So I did spend quite a bit there. So $47,403 isn't bad. The total spend on the car, including the car, is $53,331. Not too bad. Let's see what we can sell this one for. Bearing in mind, it was quite a low frame sorting cost, and I always associate them two together. High frame fixed cost, high sale price. Low frame fixed cost, low sale price. General rule of thumb, just what I figured out. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Don't always listen to me. 156,000 kilometers on this lovely little Mark 1 TT. Now with 406 horsepower engine, an increase of 62%. How much can we sell it for? 76,541. I'll be honest, I didn't actually expect to make any money off this car. I thought I was going to break even and lose a little bit. But take away our 53,331. Pits our profit at 23,210, which I'll be honest is pretty good for this little car. I was, again, not expecting to make any money at all. Just a bit of fun with this one. Anyway, let's say goodbye to the little TT. You were a lot of fun. Off you go. That was definitely a pleasure. My lovely faux show truck. Beautiful. Love that truck. What have we got next, though? That's right. This is the wonderful BMW M4 by Lit. This is the Liberty Walk version 2. We're going to have a lot of fun playing around with this one. There are some body kit options. We got it from the auction. We overpaid by the smallest margin, so I'm not worried about that. I'm sure we can make that up when we come to sell this beautiful car. Absolutely stunning. Very good job by Litz. There will be a link in the description in the next video for this car, for that one. I'm sure if you want it, you're already going to have it, though. It's got quite a few modification options. 6 pages going on here. Lots of different body options. Roof options? That was weird. Lots of different body options. A lot of it is listed. Obviously, the lights are just personal preference. But, for example, I've got the Liberty Walk version 2. So that's theoretically the bumper I should be going for. It probably will be. I think I'm going to keep this one, the Liberty Walk version 2. But they don't all have stuff on them. For example, the front end, there isn't a specific Liberty Walk one, so I'm just going to pick whichever one looks good. We have got choice of wings, M4 and M4 GTS doors. We'll decide them on the day. And again, with the hoods, bonnets, whatever you want to call them, just whichever one you want to go for. Still looking pretty good. I am definitely looking forward to this one. I've got a few ideas in my head of how I want this to look color-wise. But if you have any ideas yourself, guys, let me know in the comments what you would like to see me do with this beautiful car. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Instagram, @TheVirtualMechanic. Hit me up on Twitter, at Virtual Mechanic, but the virtual in Twitter is with a 1 instead of an L in the word virtual. Hit me up on there. Let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know if you'd want to see me play some other games. Or should I just knuckle down and keep playing Car Mechanic Simulator 21? It is a very enjoyable game for myself. I do really enjoy playing it, so I do not mind that at all. But I just want to keep you guys entertained. I want you guys to stick around. I want this channel to be relatively successful. I don't ever really expect to make money from it. If I do, that would be fantastic. But I need your subscriptions if I'm ever even going to think about that. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. I've been doing this since the 20th of October, and 61 people, 61 of you lovely guys have subscribed to me. I would love to reach 100 by the end of the year, or by video number 100. This is video number 67. Well, technically, this is video number 70. I did 3 motorcycle mechanic videos. They didn't do very well, so I dropped that and carried on with Car Mechanic Simulator. But 70 videos, by the time I get to 100, if I could have 100 subscribers, that would be incredible. I don't imagine it's going to happen, but if it does and you fancy subscribing, just click the little button, click the notification bell, leave me a like, leave me a comment, whatever you want to do to get more people viewing what I do here, especially if you enjoy it yourself. That's it for today's video, though. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have an absolutely amazing weekend, and I will see you back here on Monday. Goodbye.